you are your own worst enemy, and you're also your best friend. There's two sides to you, right? Let's talk about you being your own worst enemy. A lot of us, we really downplay our achievements because we feel like we don't earn them. And we also say a lot of negative things about ourselves. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not strong enough. Oh, I'm not good looking enough. You know, oh, I'm too short. Oh, I'll never get this job. We do this a lot to ourselves. We may not say it out loud, but we say it in our heads. Especially when we compare ourselves to someone we just, we meet. We immediately start comparing ourselves, and we start saying all these things that make us feel inferior to the person that we're interacting with. We may see someone that dresses well, that's tall, that's strong, that has something that we want, that we don't have. And then we feel inferior, right? But this is sabotaging your potential. This is absolutely sabotaging your ability to become the best version of yourself. You should look at that person that you're comparing to as inspiration. You're like, you know what? If he can be like that, maybe I can too, to my best extent. If you're playing a sport or doing a martial art and you see like some kid that's half your age that's way better than you, obviously you're gonna get a little jealous, you're gonna get a little envious. You're like, oh man, this guy, man. Then you're gonna start telling yourself, you know what, forget it. Like, it's too late for me I'm in my 30s now. It's too late for me to be on that peak level. This is sabotaging yourself. You're already limiting your ability. Just by saying those words, you're casting a spell on yourself, a spell of limitation, right? Words are like magic, bro. They're like black magic. Words can have an effect on you, on your body, and your feelings, and your overall behavior. So you have to be very careful with the things that we say to ourselves, especially when they're negative, because it can ruin us. Another thing that we need to be careful about also when we're interacting with people, or when we say all these self-sabotaging things, is that it doesn't become a habit. When we it's very easy to think negatively about ourselves, to think negatively about the world, and eventually it'll start becoming a subconscious habit where we start thinking about this shit every single day, and then when we sleep, we get dreams about it. We get dreams about negative things. We get dreams about the person that we were envious about. It could be a sibling. It could be a friend. It could be someone like a coworker. It could be someone that you saw online. And you start self-sabotaging yourself, and then it's affecting your mindset. And now you start becoming a very negative, pessimistic individual. You close yourself off to opportunities because you feel like you don't deserve it, or you feel like you're not going to get it. This happens a lot, man. And this happens a lot with me as well, that I've been trying to work on. This mindset of not trying to make negative thoughts like a constant habit and believe them, because thoughts only become reality if you accept it, if you believe it. But on the other side, if you're able to counteract the negative with positive, and if you're able to realize that the negative thoughts in your head, a majority of it isn't true, it's just thoughts. If you start thinking like that, then you'll start to change. So let's talk about you being your own best friend now. We are able to be very confident in ourselves if we just rely upon ourselves and we stick to our goals and our promises that we made to ourselves, like go to the gym at a certain time, or be consistent with the gym, be consistent with our diet, study a little bit every day, study a new language every day if that's your goal, and we're staying consistent for a long period of time. You start becoming your own best friend. And when you do things independently, especially if you live alone, because you have no choice but to do things by yourself to survive, you become a very, very strong individual mentally. You start becoming your own best friend, right? You don't rely on anybody, because you only trust yourself. And when you only trust yourself, bro, nothing can faze you, bro. Nothing can faze you. Other people cannot faze you. You'll be able to walk away from a situation that you shouldn't be in. You're not afraid to walk away. You're not afraid to stand up for yourself. Because you are your own best friend. You believe in yourself. You believe in your abilities. You believe in yourself to the point where you are so open-minded. Your ability to, you want to try something new, you're able to try it out. You want to start a new business, you go for it. You want to do this, you go for it, without fear getting to your head, because you believe in yourself. And belief can start very small. I believe that I can wake up early every day at 5 a.m. for a whole month. If you honestly just believe that, it'll start happening. I believe I can do it. I believe that I can lose 10 pounds in a month. If you honestly believe, you can achieve. I believe that if I study hard, I'll be able to get an A on the test. And if you actually believe, your mind is gonna believe it, and then you're gonna start studying, and then you're able to achieve it. Even if you may not get an A, but at least you got a B. At least you passed with a decent mark. If you're going to go into a fight ring, say if you're an MMA fighter or you're a martial artist and you have a tournament coming up, if you honestly believe in yourself, if you believe in your abilities, I believe that if I train hard enough, I can beat my opponent, or I can, come into first place. Chances are you're gonna be highly ranked. Chances are you're gonna perform really well. It starts with belief. But belief also starts, you need to be able to put in actual work in order for that belief to be reinforced in your brain. So what I mean by that is, if you say, I believe that 10 years from now I'm going to become a millionaire, you can't just keep telling yourself that every day. You gotta also put in work. You gotta figure out outlets on how you can make a lot of money. But it starts with the belief in yourself. It starts with the belief that it's attainable, that it's achievable, that it's real, for you it's realistic, for you that you can do it. When you are able to shift your mindset into that type of mentality, bro, your whole world starts to change. You look at the world in a whole different way compared to how other people look at the world. And as a man, you must not give up on yourself. You must not give up on yourself. I'm going to say that again. You must not give up on yourself. No matter how much life brings you down to your knees, to the ground, you got to get yourself back up and keep moving forward. That's just part of life. When you're old, when you're in your 70s and your 80s, you have the choice. You have the choice to either give up, or you can keep moving forward and enjoy this life. I met people who I've talked to who have told me that, once I reach 70, 80, I just want to I'm no use to this world. I just want to end my life and shit like that. It's some messed up shit, right? And for some old people, they want to do that, But if you have a really strong mindset and you really have the will to live, you have the will to realize that life is full of challenges and problems, but that's what makes me who I am. That's what makes me stronger. That's what makes me a human being. You're going to enjoy life more. You're going to still continue to take action in your life. The moment you have a positive mindset throughout the rest of your life, you will always take action in your life. You won't stay stagnant. But if you have a negative mindset, if you are an enemy of yourself, you're going to stay in your shell. You're going to constantly feel like the world is against you. You're going to want to just give up on life. You're going to think this life is too hard. Life is hard. Life is tough. But that's what makes you. That is where the enjoyment of life comes from. The hard work, the perseverance. You are able to overcome your problems. You have stories to tell. You're creating a portfolio in your life, man. You are the main character of your own story. The main character of a story doesn't go throughout the whole story without problems. He has to go through problems. Some so gigantic, but he gets help from others when he needs it. But majority of the time, he's by himself. He has to deal with this shit himself. Like Frodo from Lord of the Rings. You know, he dealt with a shitload of problems, but he still had his friend by his side, you know, to obtain his objective, even though he went through so much shit. You know, look at Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy, if you know that show. He went through so much shit. That show is dark as hell anyways. That's a little bit off topic, but he went through so many problems, and he knew that life is bullshit. Life has so much fucking negative and downtime, but he needed to keep moving forward because he had a purpose. He needed to achieve his goal, right? And people betrayed him. You know, his best friends betrayed him. His best friends died in front of him. He went through a lot of shit in that show, but you know, it's not too far from reality, man, that people around you are going to betray you. You're going to really think that you can't trust anyone. But it all comes down to you trusting yourself and to keep moving forward, and to just keep having that mindset, that resilient mindset. But it starts with believing in yourself. It starts with that confidence. Without that confidence, without your assurance that you can rely upon yourself, you're gonna be destroyed in this world, bro. You're gonna be destroyed in your mind. Not even the world's not gonna physically destroy you. You're gonna mentally and physically destroy yourself. You know, it starts with the mind. You know, stay resilient, stay strong, keep moving forward, bro. Become your best friend. Don't become the enemy of yourself, man. Sometimes we have both sides. We have two entities within us, you know, one that is constantly pushing us to the edge and one that is pulling us back from the edge. Which one are you going to choose? Which one are you going to pick? Do you want to jump off that cliff and just end everything, or do you want to step back despite all the problems and keep moving forward? Anyways, thanks for watching.